It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it would normally suggest that username should be in between 6 to 12 characters. At least one should be digit or something like that. That is what I'm saying. One more time. Let's try this one. Doesn't see, there is no suggestion, which means that application is not done very well. But my point here is, though, that there is a place where you come, your account exists, and you just log in. There is another point. There are another completely different interface where you specify your account. And if it has to be in between 6 to 12 characters, guys, now when you test, you try 5 and it should reject, and you try 6 and it should accept. You try 12 and it should accept, and you try 13 and it should reject. So you do boundaries, and then you just do one in between. That is the place where you test requirements. Guys, requirements for how big it should be and how small it should be. And if it needs at least one digit, you test for that. If it needs at least one special character, you test for that. See what I mean? But you need requirements. And then you go to the right place. And that one is dead wrong place. Is it clear? You might hypothetically say, yes, if if our maximum login name could be 15 characters, and our maximum password could be also 15 characters, let's make sure that field would accept 15 characters. What if that field doesn't even allow to type less than more than 5? Is it hypothetically possible? No. No. Because when developer develops that, developer does his testing. I mean, hypothetically, in somebody's mind, it might be the case. In reality, in the real world of software development, that software will not come to you with a problem like that. Nobody asks you to test something which never was developed yet. It should be at certain stage of development, so they need tester to test. Is it clear? If developer was not ever able to get into the system himself, I mean, why would developer need you to test? You might say, yes, but it should accept maximum 15 characters, and it accepts actually 14 characters, and developer just didn't pay attention. Yeah, it is possible. It is possible. But it is not something you really bring people's attention to unless you put that into the requirement. You can say, now, let's do it the way, I mean, let's say you really care. Guys, is it possible you care about that? Oh, yes. Let's make one more requirement, and the more requirements you make, the better, as long as that requirement makes sense. So you're saying login field, I will put login in double quotes to show that it's a field of the interface. It's not just the word. Login field does not allow to type in more than 15 characters. My personal perception, guys, is if the maximum password is 15 characters and someone types 25, I will let them do that because I want them to fail. I do not want to suggest anybody what is the maximum number, really. If you ask me, I would put no limit on that. Or we can say, let's say login field, let's put it this way. Login field has no limit on number of characters characters it accepts. Or it accepts 1 kilobyte of data, for example. It's even better. Login field accepts, okay. Accepts 123 characters. No matter how long the login could be, the field accepts 1 kilobyte. Why? I want people to fail. I want them to type any garbage, so I will not let them in. If they don't know exactly the combination. Okay, same thing. Yeah, I think it makes sense from the kind of login password, from the security perspective, it makes better sense. Login field and then password field. Password field accepts. What we can also say, you remember required field, yeah? We can address that this way. We can say submit button. Nobody told us there is a submit button, but we assume it is there. Submit button is disabled unless both fields, yeah, both fields have data typed in. Can we do that? So if you didn't type anything, I do not want any error messages saying, why don't you type something? I just disable the button, and that's it. That is how I address the fact we want people to type both. Otherwise, it makes no sense. And that is exactly the way it should be. Guys, am I right? That is the way it should be. Then we had someone suggested a certain feature a week ago. Let's say you log into the web page. And then you do backspace on the browser. You do backspace, which brings you back to the login dialog box. It should automatically log you out at that point. OK? So, OK, let's make it a feature. Let's test it. Means let's come with a test case for that. OK, so let's say automatic logout on using backspace button, browser button, yeah? Immediately upon logging in. Maybe using backspace button, I will do it this way. To get back to the login password screen after successful login. So I don't want it to be just one step. Let's say I logged in, did a couple of things, and then I do backspace, boom, and I came to login. Anytime I came back to login, I'm logged out automatically. Is it clear? So that is the feature, automatic logout on using backspace button to get back to the login password screen after successful login. That is another feature. Okay, let me save it just in case, because we are just about to go to lunch. Let's call it login. Okay, we didn't finish yet. Login. Where did I save it, by the way? Desktop, good. So I just wanted you to better understand the practical level of test case. Test case is not a theory. Test case is something you do routinely on everyday basis, and unless you master that requirement, test case, requirement, test case, requirement, you don't know what to test. Your testing becomes intuitive, which is better than no testing, guys. But you cannot compare the quality and I mean, all the properties of a good testing attached to that issue if you do it that way. Not to mention that when you go to an interview, I would stop you right here. I mean, you come just to requirement. I stop you. Because there is no need to listen to you anymore. Because you are the unique person who just has brilliant mind doing things that way. And I will go back as a manager. I will go back and make sure all the testers in my team do it that way. Because that is exactly the way to do it. We have too many people, working in QA who never read a book, or who never were trained in how to do things right. Okay? Yes, misspelling. Which one? Oh, getting older, Just you can't imagine how old I am. I'm just looking 28, but requirement. But I'm older.
In the top part, right, test case foot. There's no arm in the feet.
Oh, poor me. Okay, 4. So guys, the good thing about what we are doing here is not a mistake in your personal life. Easy to fix. Okay. Same as software crash. If you crash on someone, in real life, it's different. Software crash, forget about it. Okay, it was a joke. So, 5 minutes to 12. Should we let them go? Because we are not going to do test cases anyway. But I will put it on the web, on the forum anyway. So you can look at it in between today and Monday. You're doing the second part, which is what? HTML. Okay, guys. When you look at HTML, by the way, think about, let's say if you do white box testing from HTML, you open the page and you see that HTML. Where is the room for? Maybe Olga will suggest you. Where is the room for boundary testing right there? If you really look from the source code side, you will see all the boundaries involved. User cannot see the boundaries because boundaries are hidden. Okay? Good. And then, if you understand HTML, you can test so many things which it would not come to normal human mind to try that. Okay? So guys, let's say we are done for today. What's your homework? Let me see your book. We have videos. You know that we have videos on test cases, and okay, let's go to portnow.com. We go to online class. You remember we have the best set of. Are you getting September class or?
Yeah, September.
September, because we have them ongoing and so on. So September 11th. Oh God. Yeah. And then we go to test documentation. Should be somewhere. Okay, number 6. Test cases, test plans, test documentation. So here is the video to watch before, and that is what happened in the class. And then we have test documentation interview questions, which is another one. So we have 2 sessions on test documentation, but it comes with 4 hours of videos. Because 1 hour is here, below the title, and 1 hour is in red, what we did in the class. In the class, we do go through the questionnaires, which you're going to get next time. So that is what you do in terms of watching, and then you have that book to read, and you have the page with all the interview questions and answers. We go through that page in videos anyway, but you know where it is. We did it today. So in terms of your book, talking about that, okay. Testing fundamentals, working. Okay, you have part 4. It's 17, 18, 19, 20. It says working with test documentation. Planning your test over page 263. Yeah, here, you go there to content of the book, and then at the very bottom, you have test documentation here. Chapter 17, planning your test effort. Writing and tracking test cases, 18th. Okay, let's make it 17 and 18. Okay, just two. Chapters 17 and 18 in testing. And okay, guys, it's not just about reading. It's about being able to talk about what you just read. Okay? Because at the time of interview, it's not to say, oh yeah, I've seen that somewhere. Yeah? To say, oh yeah, someone told me. You have to talk about it. Next level of learning. So first level is recognition level. Second level is reproduction level. So you have to be at least at the reproduction level. Because the next level is what? Creativity. Creativity. So then you can creatively, you can respond to the situation where we are changing the circumstances. You learn that, you can talk about that, but then we are saying, okay, but what would you do if? And then you're okay. So that is the next level. Okay? Good. Okay, we are done. I'll see you on Thursday. So guys, you have lots of things to learn.